Fordy, coming to you first. You're 1 week on from your third consecutive Women's National League title. How are you and how are the girls kind of reflecting on what was an amazing day for the club?
Yeah, again, it's something we take a massive amount of pride in. It is our pathway, and to go again for a third year running is a massive testament. I think a lot of the pathways have got a lot stronger, and it's something that we were very cautious or conscious of, that we needed to stay on top and try and stay ahead of the game. And hopefully it was a spectacle for a lot to enjoy, and actually just show what level of rugby is available at the university level. And luckily we were on the right side of it, but I think just what a great game for the women's advert of university rugby.
And Amy, player of the match performance from you. Where does that kind of rank, do you think, on the games you've been involved in?
Oh, I think the game as a whole, like Fordy said, was just so intense. It was probably one of the best finals that we've done as a squad. We've played in as a squad. At any moment, any team could have taken the edge. So definitely, it was definitely up there with one of the most intense.
And there are a few tears at the end from both of you at the huddle. I think there might have been. Clearly, there's a huge amount of kind of emotional investment from both of you in this group.
Yeah.
What do you think it was that kind of brought about that kind of emotional reaction?
I think for me it was obviously some of the girls last time playing in a final. So the friends you make along the way, the best friends you make, that's kind of like a sudden realization of the hard work you've put in to get there. But it was just a really emotional day. Like I said, the intensity and the adrenaline throughout the day, because it was a late kickoff, was just really heightened. But I can't be proud of the girls and how we showed up.
Yeah, probably a pretty emotional one for you as well.
Yeah, I just think it's great for everyone to appreciate the amount of effort that group put in. They're up 7 o'clock in the morning, gymming, training, 3 times a week, and it alongside studies and alongside some of these girls doing Gloucester Hartpury as well. It's a lot to manage, and it's a lot for them to juggle. We have to make sure that they stay on top of their studies as well. So I just think it's at the end of a long season, everything they do together on and off the pitch, the amount of hours that all the staff and all the players put in, I think it's just it was an outpouring of emotion really, more than anything, just like a celebration of the season, which, and as Amy said, it is some people's last games that have been here for a long time. So look, it was obviously emotion of happiness, but emotion of kind of the journey that we've been on this year.
And the last 10 minutes, pretty action-packed, weren't they? I mean, they could have got the lead. You scored as the clock went red. How proud of you are you of those last 10 minutes?
I think for me, it's a really proud moment to see the grit we kind of put in and the determination to stay in the fight. It was a really tough game, and Loughborough gave a really good competition. So the fact that we stayed in it, we kept going for an 80-minute battle, is a really credit to, like Foley said, the hard work we've put in this year. So I couldn't be prouder of the girls for every little bit of detail they've put in.
Yeah, I just think that when we spoke about that fight and that battle, and when you're going into a fight, you're going to throw your own punches, but that teams are going to punch back just as hard. And we knew Loughborough were going to come back in that second half flying, and the resilience, the grit that the girls put in those last 10 minutes, really a testament to the group as a whole, and some individual efforts in there as well, which I thought were fantastic. So the grit, the determination, the resilience that these girls have shown this year, and in particular that second half, is everything we've been getting after as a group. So really proud that it paid off and it came through for us.
Yeah, that fight and grit that you speak about, I suppose the moment that kind of is epitomised by that is Sophie Davis's last minute tackle in the 70th minute. As a head coach, you must have absolutely loved seeing that.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that you just can't coach. That's resilience and grit, and that's just wanting to do it for the person next to you. Sophie's someone that puts the team on her back week in, week out. She's an incredible attribute to the programme as a whole, both on and off the pitch. And for her to produce that moment, I think really was kind of the moment where the girls kind of knew that, look, no matter what happens, we got this, we stay together, we stick together, and we'll come through it together. So what a moment in a game, and rightly celebrated.
Yeah, Amy, what are your kind of memories of that tackle?
I think for me, obviously, seeing that line break and having that kind of sigh of what could have been the other outcome for us. But seeing that tackle, it gives you that strength to keep going. It gives you that sort of determination to be like, let's get back on track now. Let's take a minute. Let's regroup and go again. So yeah, definitely a massive G up for the girls.
And just about the programme as a whole, this is the third title in 3 years now. It's clearly an amazing place to play your rugby, but if you could put your finger on it, what's that one thing that makes Hartpury and makes the programme so special?
I think just the pathway itself is just an incredible structure, incredible setup. The amount of books girls we've had in for the Bristol Bears Cup game and hopefully coming this Sunday, it's a credit to all the hard work that all the staff put in and even the girls themselves to work hard to get and fight for that shirt.
Yeah, I just think it comes back to the foundations of rugby and why a lot of us play rugby and get into the game is it's just playing the game with your mates, and actually that going through those early mornings, those training sessions, those games as mates growing up, the last 3 years for some of them as mates, you can't get any closer because Hartpury and Gloucester is it's a rugby city, and Hartpury in itself is such a small institution with such a passion for rugby. It just bleeds through the whole establishment. I think everyone is so passionate about the game in Gloucester. And I really think that that's what shows across any Gloucester team or any Hartpury team that you're involved in, is the amount of passion that's put through towards the game of rugby. And at the university level, it's just doing it with your mates. And I think there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, it's clearly an extremely effective programme to kind of push young girls, young players aged 18 into the top level of rugby. Amy, you're one of them. How do you think that happens? How do you think you're put into a position where you're able to go straight into a Premiership side and perform?
Yeah, I think even leading up to the Bucks final there, we were lucky enough to get the opportunity to train with and alongside Gloucester Hartpury, and having that level of experience and expertise gives all of us youngsters coming through that opportunity to develop, learn new skills. Even off the people like Catherine Buggy and Keris Hale, we're able to gain their understanding and gain their knowledge, which has been a massive step forward for us, especially leading to the final. So yeah, I can't fault that opportunity that we get to, and lucky enough to be a part of Gloucester Hartpury's setup.
Yeah, unfortunately does play a massive factor as the girls coming through and playing with Gloucester Hartpury and playing with some of the best players in the world, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we've been very lucky the last few years. You look at Ollie Wilson with the under-18s programme being very successful. University's been very successful. Mo's led a great programme for the last couple of years. I think what makes it really just fluid is the amount of crossover that we get, not only with staff but with players. So if you look at the likes of Dan Murphy, you've then got Sam Monaghan, Maud Muir, Bethan Lewis, and Mo all crossing over within that. But don't underestimate the amount of pride that Linny and James Forrester take in the programme as well. It's something that we really know that the future of Gloucester Hartpury lays within our under-18s and our university programmes, and it's crucial that we make sure that the transition's easy. So we try to make sure as much as possible that we're on sync with the same calls. We're on sync with the same values, because they're the things really at the end of the day that make those transitions smoother. And the more contact time that these girls get with the Gloucester Hartpury girls, and Amy's worked for the last few years under Kelsey and Neve Jones, I think it makes that transition up a lot easier, that step a lot more comfortable for them, and to work with that and to have all those people and all those staff buy into those values and that pathway is massive for us. And I think it's exciting where it takes us in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And now looking ahead to this weekend, the Allianz Cup third, fourth playoff is obviously a pretty tough outing at Bristol in the semi-final. But how are you both kind of looking to bounce back this weekend?
Yeah, it was really tough. I think we struggled to find momentum and stay on top in that respect. I think going forward to the next game, it's really just getting over that gain line, having our forwards give us that physicality and that physical edge to break the line, good ball press, and have the backs play away, really. Yeah,
I think the big thing for us was Sunday at Bristol was a tough outing for us. It's probably we probably slipped on a couple of our key pillars, stuff that we pride ourselves on. We probably didn't hold ourselves high enough standards in those areas, and that's something we've looked at this week and gone back to. Look, I think 6 of those girls doubled up Sunday, Wednesday, so there were some tired bodies, and very much was kind of, let's get through Sunday and see where we're at. Let's get Wednesday, hopefully we get the result. Now we can just focus on that one game, which will be Exeter. We know they got a very strong set piece. That's somewhere that we really need to contain them. And then there's opportunities out there now for these young girls to go out there, and very much from the coaching staff this week is go and express yourself. Have a license to thrill, go out there, show what we're about, but make sure that we just contain it and get our set piece right first of all to give us that platform.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for some of the young girls to impress, isn't it? I mean, you can get a sort of run in this squad and be one of the more senior players in that team. You know, it's a huge opportunity, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. I think over the last 3 years, I've definitely grown into that more of a leadership role within the cup. Like I said, work alongside Catherine Buggy as well. She gives me a lot of motivation, a lot of leadership, and like the values. So yeah, definitely looking forward to going in and helping out all the girls.
Yeah, and Exeter, you know, there's no two ways about it. They're going to be difficult this weekend, aren't they? They're putting a strong performance in their semi-final, and it looks like a strong squad, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think like Fordy touched on there, their set piece is really strong. They've really got that physical edge, which we need to match. Line out D is going to be crucial. Scrum time is going to be really important to get us that momentum, get us that go forward, and just have that bit of physicality about us.
Yeah, I think the big thing for us is this cup squad. It's a special little squad that, you know, when all these internationals are away, that they get to perform and get game time and train together as their own little unit, and it's their last time to go out there as a group and express themselves. And actually, you know, yes, the internationals are away, but these girls that have stayed in Gloucester University and Gloucester Hartpury players have still continued week on week to work hard for each other in training, and really, look, it's their last chance to go out there and just give everything. Really, leave nothing out there before we go back into the PWR.
And just looking at the season as a whole, you know, it's been hugely successful from our point of view, hasn't it? You know, 13 in a row in the league, we're unbeaten, we're on track for a home semi-final. How are you both kind of reflecting on the season as a whole at the moment?
Me first?
Yeah, you go first.
Look, this season as a whole, it's probably something that we knew we had the capabilities to do and get after, but don't underestimate again the amount of effort these girls are putting as a squad. A lot of this stuff is these girls drive it. We put the foundations in place as coaches, but these girls drive their own standards. They push each other in training, and some of the training sessions are brutal, and they really do push each other in their standards. And I think that just shows in some of the performances that people are putting out there week on week. And hopefully that's transpired for some people into Six Nations performances. But we're under no illusion that when we come back, you know, we're going to get a group of girls that have had slightly different campaigns in the Six Nations, but they've got to come back and make sure they quickly get back on page with what we're about and what Gloucester Hartpury is about, because we've got 3 tough games coming up, and they're all games that we want to win and carry the momentum into a semi-final.
Yeah, I think touching on that, it's just been great to see over the course of the season as a youngster and taking that into books as well. It's inspirational for us to see, and like I said, our 4 like coaches there, Mo, Sam, Beth Ann and Maud, watching them just really excel in their own field gives us that inspiration. And you know, for myself, I'm fortunate enough to learn off of like Kelsey Jones and Neve Jones. So yeah, having that opportunity and exposure to this sort of level and these girls is really exceptional.
I think the big thing on that as well is, if you look at some of the top 4 games where we've had to use university girls that actually probably weren't expecting as much exposure this year, just really goes to show the strength of that pathway, and girls have had opportunities in big top 4 games that we've actually come out on the right side of, and that's just a testament to the girls and some of those senior girls that have really put an arm around some of these youngsters and almost mentored them into some of these roles. And I think, you know, there'll be some real tough competition for shirts when girls come back. There's no guarantees out there, and I think that internal competition is really driving strength throughout the squad. And look, I think that's almost as if I put my university hat on as a coach there, I think that makes me so proud to see those girls that have stepped up into that Gloucester Hartpury shirt and actually done a real good job at maintaining top level performance.
And just lastly, how much are you both looking forward to the next few months? It's set to be a pretty big couple of months, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have like a really heavy training weeks. Really, get stuck in. Yeah, I can't be happier for the girls to be back and to train alongside some great players.
Yeah, I think, look, although it be cliche, I think we can only focus week on week, and we never want to get too far ahead of ourselves. I think that's what's great about the group. They're never really looking too far ahead. They just know that we're going to do analysis on the next team for that weekend. We're going to get after those goals, get through that one, and then we'll go again next week. Look, I think that home semi-final is massive for us. We love playing here. We love playing in front of the Gloucester crowd. I think what they give and what they've bought into in terms of this women's side's massive, and I hope that goes to show in the next 3 games what we really want to get after. We've got one more home game, which is Ealing, coming up, and we want to start building that excitement within Gloucester then about what a home semi-final could look like for us. So we'll take things week by week, but we're excited about where we could go with this group.
And I know you just said you're focusing week on week, but the prospect of a second Premiership title, I mean, that's hugely exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think winning a Premiership again for us would be, after last year, just shows that actually it wasn't just a one-off, it wasn't just chance, it's something that we've built on for years now to make that happen. And I think this group are really just standing up and showing what they're about again, and going back out there and doing it after you've already done it once is hard. But I think these girls, they're just so determined individually to get after that prize again of another Premiership. And look, we'd love to do it again, but there's a long way to go.